go and look at it after it's done. Okay, it's slow today. Let's give it a minute. Okay, all right. Here we are. Okay, hello everyone, and lots of love to you. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, today's session, the session that we have for this Saturday, the topic that we have for this Saturday is purposelessness. Well, purposefulness, or rather purposelessness. So, as soon as we look at purpose, life purpose, for many of us, by the time we start hitting our 40s and 50s, what is our life purpose? What is our life purpose becomes a big question, and then starts the seeking, the looking. Everybody my age, by the time I hit 40, this life purpose question was hitting so many people so hard. Everybody was out there reading the Bhagavad Gita, taking classes on that or whatever, and trying to find out from those books what this life is meant to be. But it's not such a new thing. As a matter of fact, as soon as we begin to take consciousness, as soon as we are kind of a little bit able to understand all, we get to hear this question so many times. So what are you going to be when you grow up? What are you going to be when you grow up? What will you do? What will you be? And from that point onwards starts this journey, saying you have to be something, you have to do something, you have to be something, you have to be of value. You have to be of value to your family, you have to be of value to yourself, you have to be of value to your society. You have to do something. And all around us, we are told that this person is a hero because he did this. A soldier is hero because of what he is doing. A company is a hero because of what their people are doing. Whatever it is the hero, the doing that we derive the value from. And so begins the doership lesson for us. I call it a doership lesson, because it's something that we have to go through. It is something that we took birth for, to examine this doership. Otherwise, as energy, totally useless we are, right? Energy just is. Around us, energy just is. It gets harnessed, then it becomes useful. But if it doesn't get harnessed, it just is. I wonder what energy feels when it just is. Well, it feels everything. It feels every emotion, because every emotion is energy. So just as we are in the just is place, when we are able to understand that just being is good enough, that place of non-doership, that place where we have lost our purposefulness, we are going to take our journey today to that place. When we are with purpose, or at least when we are trying to figure out our purpose, there is a new purpose in every stage of our lives. As we are, in the study, in the education piece, then there is a purpose to basically pass the exam, to accomplish something, to become something, to get what we want in terms of whatever education we are receiving. And then we move forward from there. College, again, same. We want something, we put that as our purpose in life. That is the aim, that is the ambition, that becomes our purpose for that time. We are singularly looking at that. All our efforts are concentrated towards that. And then we achieve that purpose as well. Then we move on to another purpose. We come to a place in life where everybody around us is telling us, okay, now your purpose is to get married. And it becomes a purpose. This just simply finding somebody to sign a piece of paper with now becomes a purpose in life. We do our hunts low and high, and then we find someone. Even if we didn't search low and high, that vibration that is pulling an actor into our lives would have happened. If they didn't call it a husband or a wife, they would have called it something else. We would have experienced the same emotions that any other actor is giving to us. Why? Because that too is a tool outside for us to experience. for us to experience our emotions. So we get this purpose of looking out for somebody, something, that purpose gets accomplished or sometimes doesn't get accomplished. Either ways, a lot of emotions are created. If we find somebody, great. We find somebody who loves us and all of that stuff, great. There are emotions being created. If we find somebody who doesn't love us and does something else to us, great. Emotions are experienced. The whole point being that we spend all our lives experiencing our emotions. Anyways, moving forward, then we keep the purpose as having children. They too create a lot of emotions. If we have them, great, several emotions created. If we don't have them, great, not so many, but quite a few emotions created. I speak from that part of life, where I didn't have children. And so just a few emotions were created every time I saw people with children. The only emotion that I regularly felt was that of relief. But I'm one of those, I'm one of those that I was attached to children, but I wasn't attached to having my children. And so therefore, not much emotion, not much other emotion was created. But if you are attached to having your own name written on those children's sheets, then it can be quite an emotional process. If you don't have children, it can be, an emotion one after the other of lack every single day, if that has become your life purpose. Moving forward, as I said, we keep looking into what our life's purpose is. And then comes a time when, even if you've done this and you've done that, you've been through everything, and yet you feel your life purpose hasn't shown up. Even if you've looked after your children, you've done the marriage bed, you've done everything outside, inside you begin to feel that there is something which is not making me feel complete. I still have to look for a life purpose. It could be that you haven't done a few things and it feels like your life purpose has stayed incomplete. But it could very well be that whatever you had, come out to do, whatever you had put your mind to, everything has already manifested. You are able to see the results, and now there is no new purpose, and you feel that gap. You feel that blankness of not having a purpose to feel, to fulfill. And now you begin to feel empty. You begin to feel worthless. You don't have a purpose anymore. And that's where this new emotion, or maybe not so new, but this purposelessness, worthlessness, keeps you occupied. This emotion now keeps you occupied. And so once again, you begin to seek. You seek outside, you go to one place, you're reading the Bhagavad, you're looking for some purpose in life. And so today, I give you the answer that I received when my journey began. The purpose of our life is already being fulfilled from the day we are born. The purpose of our life is decided by the energy that we hold. Whatever energy we are holding, let us say, I hold a lot of energies of fear and worry and anxiety. And to experience those worries and anxieties, I have taken birth. Remember, this body is not the whole of you. This body is 1%. Your energy field is the rest of you. Everything that is happening in your life, in your universe, is not being created by the outside. No, as a matter of fact, it is all manifesting from the energy that you hold. You are the Shiva. And so, when you are sitting in a lot of fear, a lot of anxiety, outside events will keep happening that will manifest this energy of fear and anxiety that you hold. Everything in the universe that resonates with that vibration of yours will come to you, and you will be able to feel more fear, more worry. As you tune into more fear, more worry, the purpose is being served. What is the purpose, you ask? The only purpose is to experience the energy. As you experience the energy, it comes full circle. It comes to your awareness, this fear, this anxiety. Well, wait, let me change my words. It doesn't come to your awareness, it happens around you and brings you fear and anxiety. As something brings you more fear and anxiety, where does this fear and anxiety go? It goes right back to your energy field. And the purpose of the emotions, of the frequencies of fear and anxiety are served. What just happened? Your fear and anxiety manifested, brought you more fear and anxiety, which you put back into your energy field. The purpose is served that the fear energy created more of the same. The whole universe is receiving as each of us grow our frequencies, no matter what those frequencies are. If the frequencies are of fear and worry, so many people who tune into the fear and worry frequencies when a corona happens, what is happening? The entire frequency vibration of the universe is going up. That's our purpose. And we are being very, very purposeful as we sit in fear. We are being very purposeful as we sit in anxiety. That sitting and experiencing of the emotion itself. That's the purpose that the energy took this body form to experience every frequency, to experience emotions. That's the only purpose that we came here for, to experience. So, as soon as birth happens, you feel hungry, you feel sad, you feel anxious, mother is not around, has not fed you, what is happening, and you cry. Well, there begins the cycle of emotions. With every breath, as soon as you are born, with every breath, you are already fulfilling your purpose. Out the window goes this experience of what is it that should be the purpose of your life. If you look at it from the energy perspective, there is no other purpose but to experience every emotion. So, in our unaware lives, no matter what the emotions look like, whether they look like anger or fear or frustration, love, joy, whatever it is, the frequency that is in our energy field will suddenly come on. As soon as we tune into that frequency, an outside event, we think that the outside event is giving us joy. We've received a paper that says, okay, you've got a promotion. And now from that promotion, you receive joy. Well, it's the other way around. Your frequency of joy had to manifest, and so it created this outside event. From that outside event, you received more of the same. A frequency of joy will create more of the same. So it creates some joy. This joy goes back to your energy field. The joy in the universe has risen just a little bit more because of your experience, that being your true purpose. And then what happens? One day, the frequency of guidance, which also exists within us only, that frequency of guidance suddenly comes on. And as that frequency of guidance suddenly comes on, now we suddenly find that there is guidance flowing from outside. Somebody or the other will manifest in front of you and start to give you the guidance that is necessary for you in that moment. And as that guidance comes now, guidance creates a little bit more of guidance. So back in your energy field, you are putting more and more of that guidance. In the middle of all of this, suddenly you become a bit more aware. Why? Because that frequency of guidance that also sits within you, that just played by chance, now you've become aware because of that frequency. As you become aware, a little bit more aware, you are now growing that frequency of guidance a little bit more, a little bit more. What happens? The entire mystery starts to solve. What are you here for? What is it that you are seeking outside? How does the energy work? all of this mystery starts to solve. How? That too is the purpose, but it's the purpose of your frequency of guidance. It came on, it switched on, and now suddenly you are made aware. And here is where the most beautiful shift happens. As you come into the frequency of guidance, and let us say you decide to grow it, more and more answers come to you, begin to come to you, and then the purpose itself shifts. The purpose shifts. Now you have awareness, and in the awareness, the purpose that you came for shifts. In unawareness, your purpose has been shifting all the time. You think your purpose is education, marriage, children, etc., etc., etc. And now the energy purpose itself begins to shift. And how does that happen? Because this time, when the frequency of sadness comes through, it comes through to create more sadness. But what is it that you do? You're able to break the circuit. Why? Because you are now aware that it's simply a frequency. Sadness is simply a frequency. You can shift it. As you can shift it, what do? You become aware, you take in the sadness, you experience for a few moments. You are no longer now running away from any experience. You simply welcome the experience, you take that experience for a few moments, and then this choice becomes available that can you shift it or not? You can. You can shift it because it's only a frequency. And so now, anytime a lack plays out, anytime sadness plays out, anytime anger plays out, the choice becomes yours. A choice becomes available. And now, by looking at that, by becoming an observer of the frequency itself, through the frequency of guidance, these answers came to you. And now these answers hold for every part of your life. And so, whatever frequency you are playing in, you simply play in it for a few minutes. You don't have to spend time on it. It doesn't have to run into years. Why? Because energy doesn't play in years, energy only plays in the now. Sadness comes, you experience the sadness in the now fully. In earth terms, that might be 2 full minutes, but you experience it fully, you honor that energy, and then you can shift. And this becomes your new purpose. So when I received the answer as to what is the purpose of my life, before that, as an investment banker, when I was doing things or whatever, I quit my investment banking job to join something which was also kind of a social investment banking role. And through that, through microfinance, I was helping many people. I actually thought that my role was to help many people. My job, my life purpose, I didn't think in terms of roles then, but I thought that my life purpose was to help others. Through whatever salary I was receiving, I started to put that salary. I opened a little training center. In that training center, poor kids who couldn't study, who didn't have the money, who hadn't been given all the paraphernalia for doing good in life, they used to come to my center, and we were able to find jobs for them. We were able to train them. I thought that my job was to help people. And then this journey began. I started to understand energy just a little bit. Once again, I thought that my job was to do service for people. When one of these days I was sitting in guidance and I asked, okay, is this the purpose of my life? Is the purpose of my life to help others? And the answer came no. The purpose of life, not just yours, but the purpose of every life is to be in enjoyment, is to create enjoyment, is to be in enjoyment for the self, by the self. Enjoyment, the term that was there was masti. Many of you understand masti as being something on the outside. You get together with friends, there is a lot of masti, there's a lot of enjoyment. And those friends then, they leave, you come back home, and now there is not so much masti. You are sitting by yourself. That's not what is meant by enjoyment. Enjoyment, when you are aware, enjoyment is the frequency of masti, the frequency of equanimity. If this happens, so what? If it doesn't happen, so what? Releasing yourself from the outcomes, freeing yourself from the limitations that you have put on yourself. If this happens, only then I consider myself successful, useful. If it doesn't happen, I consider myself useless. And then you let go of those judgments itself. As you let go of the judgments, what happens inside you is more lightness, more blankness, more bliss. That is masti. The masti happens first within and then gets reflected outside. Whether you are with a circle of friends or you are sitting alone, you can tap into this energy of enjoyment at any point in time by yourself. You don't have to be with people, but you also don't have to be away from people. Either ways, that energy of enjoyment belongs to you. You don't have to run away to the Himalayas to experience this bliss. This bliss belongs to you only when you become aware. And awareness can happen anywhere, anytime, any moment, the minute you become an observer of the emotions that you have, no longer now sitting in those same emotions and growing the cycle of those emotions. Now you have a choice. The choice is you will receive those emotions. Yes, you will. They are sitting in your energy field. Our energy field is so vast. We don't know what all is in there. And yet it manifests outside. If there are expectations, hurt will manifest outside. But now, as you are aware, as you look at the hurt that is manifested, you will take in that hurt for a few minutes, maybe for a few days. And then, as the finger comes within, as you become more and more of the observer, what are you able to do? You are this time able to release the hurt and now grow the frequency of enjoyment, grow the frequency of masti, grow the frequency of equanimity. That is where you are able to sit. Why? Because now you are serving your life purpose of the aware. You are now aware the life purpose that you came with. The energies came to play out through you. That was your purpose. Through the energy of guidance that played out. Now your life purpose changes. Now you hold the life purpose only because you and the energy are one. You are no longer operating from the limited space of I am this body, this is my thought, this belongs to me. You are now operating from the place of I am Shiva, I am the creator of my experience. What am I going to create today? As you create more and more, we know what this easy, in this path, I give you the easy solution. Simply tune into the back end, tune into my energy. Whatever energies you are experiencing, you can release those. They are done with. You can just let them go as an observer. Okay, sadness came in. I accept. Sadness is just a frequency. I can shift my frequency. And then the minute you take in the frequency of Meenal, you will feel a little bit more lighter. You will feel a little bit more at ease, experience that bliss just a little bit more. Why? Because this energy of Meenal already holds within it. It holds within all of these energies of experiences of awareness, of beautiful surrender, of faith. All of these energies are already there in the energy field. Why? Because over the last few years, ever since my frequency of guidance came into play, and I was shown this game, what am I doing on a daily basis? I sit every single day, look at what frequencies have come to play for me. If it's a frequency of joy, great, I grow the joy. If it's a frequency that belongs still to sadness, disappointment, fear, anxiety, I'm able to look at it, become the observer, look at it, experience it, and then transform it. Transform it back to the energy of equanimity, to the energy of masti and bliss. So me now, I'm the conscious, aware actor. The purpose of my energy is still being fulfilled through me, but the energy that is already changing through my awareness. And so the only role that we get to play when we are here in this body, in this form, to be aware and to start changing our energy. That's the only role that we get to play when we become aware. Otherwise, in unawareness, already our purpose is being fulfilled. Look at the world around you. If you think they are not fulfilling their purpose, it's your judgment. It's your limited judgment that they came for being useful. Look into the word useful and useless, because that's your judgment. As far as the energy goes, if you are resonating with the word useless, then in you, you have to work on self-love, because your love to yourself is conditional. You want to do something. You don't feel the value in simply being. You want to do something. You have to do something to be useful. Take a look at it. No matter how useful you are to the outside world, something or the other will keep showing you that you are still useless at another part. Why is that? It's only because it's a frequency. When we sit in a frequency of uselessness, trying to find ways to be useful is not the answer. The answer is simply in releasing this frequency of uselessness. It's a frequency, you can release it. You can tune into another channel. It's that easy. In the morning, you were feeling pretty useless. By the time the afternoon comes, if you are aware, you've tuned into the frequencies of Meenal. She does nothing. And yet so many people every day tell her, oh my God, you are so key, you are so key to my life, to my living. And she feels very useful while doing nothing. While doing nothing, all that she does is comes every once in a while and does conversations, chit chat. And yet so many of you feel that she is useful. Why? Why is that? Because I sit with those energies of self-love. I don't need to do something to be valuable. I am valuable with or without doing anything. I'm valuable because I'm Shiva to begin with. And that's the only understanding. When it comes to you, in the morning, you're feeling useless, shed that frequency, experience it for a minute, and then shed it. And then now move to the experience of usefulness. That too is just a frequency. I read a couple of, I think I read, okay, one chat question. Let's see. What happens when you are tuning into anger and we tune into Meenal frequency? We tune into anger as well, right? Wow, such a limited view of how to look at energy. I mean, for the 100 years that I have been talking, I've been talking about this. This is the experiencer. The body is the experiencer. My body is the experiencer of my energy field. My energy field holds everything, but largely holds abundance, largely holds, joy, holds bliss. Does it hold every other frequency? Yes. I just spoke about it, that when every other frequency comes, if I tune into it, I look at it, I observe it, and I'm able to see it. I'm able to see it. You think I'm inviting you to experience my body? You think that I'm talking to you all about, that, okay, whatever I'm experiencing, I've got throat ache today, I've got body ache today, I was unwell for the last 15 days. Were you feeling equally unwell? How limited can you be in thinking that I'm inviting you to my 1% body experience? The person who's writing it is not even writing it on the group, they're writing to me as a direct message. They've been associated with me for years now, and that is why right now I tune into the energy of disgust. That, okay, you think that I'm inviting you 1,000 times over. I tell people, I tell people that I'm taking you to the same source from where I draw my energy field. I give you the key, not to my 1% who is the experiencer. I give you the key to my energy field where I'm constantly now through awareness putting in more and more of abundance. How ridiculous of you to think that in the moment when my body experiences energy of anger, you would be experiencing energy of anger in that moment. We are not cloning people over here. There is an energy of abundance that I'm giving you the key to. You already have your energies of doubt, confusion, worthlessness, uselessness, anger, everything. You will keep tuning into them. I am giving you a response saying, as you are done with that, you can tune into the energy of Meenal, which doesn't mean you are tuning into the energy of anger, which is a frequency that exists in the air. It means you are tuning into the abundance that exists so much more over there. You might be an energy of lack. I have been growing my abundance even through awareness. I came with abundance. I already came with abundance. I just didn't know it. When I found out that I came with abundance, my guidance said, now go and distribute this abundance. How to distribute this abundance? Oh, simply tell people to tune into your energy. They will be able to tune into abundance. You didn't come with fear. You came with more fearlessness. You came with more abundance. And so you can now ask people to tune into that energy. There is more of that abundance in the frequency of Meenal. And through my awareness, I've changed my life purpose. I no longer now sit when anger happens. I'm able to see it and I'm able to transform it. When disgust happens, which is what's happening right now as I read your message, I'm able to see it and I'll be able to change it. Back to what? Back to equanimity, back to joy, back to bliss. And I will experience the disgust. Maybe that is what I'm meant to experience today. As I read your question, I experience it, I honor it. I experience it for a few moments and then I'm able to let go. Why am I able to let go? How am I able to let go? That's called being aware. That is when a life purpose can change. Your life purpose that came, whatever it was your energy field was, your life purpose can only change when you are aware of your energy. Any other questions? No. All right. I hope I've answered your question well. Okay. So anyways, so all of us, as we sit looking at life purpose, my life is feeling pretty empty. I don't think I have purpose to my life. Understand that it is not that you will seek outside and something will shift. By looking at a tool outside, by even creating something outside, if you are doing so in the energy of lack, even as you accomplish something, whatever you are looking at, you might accomplish everything that you put on your to-do list. You might be able to accomplish absolutely everything at all. But what will happen while you are running after it? While you are running after it, you are going to be able to only create more of the lack. The experiencer, through accomplishing, is still going to be sitting in lack because you actually ran. As you ran after things, you experienced more and more lack of not having, of not having. And you ran out and you got whatever you didn't have. As you got something, I was just telling somebody, probably it was the morning session, money, for example, you don't have money, you sit in lack, you go and create money. You can experience crores and crores of money. As the money, the crores and crores come, and you think that now the lack will be over. It might be, but yet, if you created more lack in the process, running after something always creates lack. It is the frequency of lack. It's the frequency of discontentment. You will always be running. And as you do that, the running might stop in terms of money. You'll find another tool to run after. Now it might be love. Now it might be time. Now it might be health. It could be anything. Then it might be name. You need to get a name for yourself. There are so many different tools that can keep putting you into the frequency of lack. Why is it that the lack will not go? Because if you sat in the frequency of lack, the entire experience, whatever is created, will still continue to create more lack within. And the lack is what you are putting back in your energy field. And then one day, as you become aware, you experience lack, you no longer go out to fulfill that lack. Oh, I'm short of money. I think I need more money. You no longer run out to fulfill the need. You simply release the need itself. If more money is needed, it will come to me. I'm taken care of. If it doesn't come to me, it's not needed. And that is it. That simply finishes off the lack and brings you into the frequency of contentment, into the frequency of abundance. It's that simple. But this needle, it moves every time. As it moves, if you're continuing to stay in lack, what will you do? You will keep creating more of that. Only through awareness will you be able to shift it again and again back to abundance. So shift it. Shift it. I tell people, when it moves from here to here, moves to abundance, you feel so good. You're experiencing the abundance, and then you're like, I was sitting in abundance for 2 days. And now suddenly, why is it that I'm feeling like, oh, I need this? I'm feeling so much fear again, so much anxiety again. Okay, you tuned into that frequency again. Now, why are you choosing to sit over there? Why are you getting so fearful of experiencing something when you know that the key is in your hand, that you can simply go back to experiencing the abundance again? Why think that when this happens, this is forever? Why not just simply go back to the frequency of abundance? As easy to switch between the two frequencies. Why? Because both are just frequencies. They are simply channels of a radio. You can switch this channel or you can switch that channel. The awareness gives you the choice that there are several channels. Otherwise, in unawareness, whatever is playing on the radio station, you got to keep listening to it. You don't know that a channel exists. You don't know that a remote exists. You don't know that you can actually switch through the remote, switch the channel. But when you are sitting in awareness, and now all of you, at least here on this group, have the answer. It's a simple answer to tune into the frequency of Meenal. You can see through the life what this person is receiving more and more of, and working towards her energy field to become even more abundant, even more abundant. The journey is endless. All the frequencies exist. This is life. It's not like we will stop experiencing anger. We will stop experiencing sadness. We will stop sitting in that. When the needle moves over here, we will look at it, we will observe it, we will experience it for a few moments. And then it's our choice. And so we will move it back. Finally, it's only a frequency. I see some more chats. Okay. Equanimity is the purpose of life for human beings. What is the purpose of life of animals and plants? When the equanimity comes, you become the animal and plant. Because in equanimity, you don't need to do something. It's already happening through you. That's it. Now look at every plant and every animal. They just are. They experience all emotions, everything. They don't run away from it. They just simply experience the emotion and they be. What is the difference between between an animal and you? The animal will experience the emotion, experience it in that moment, and then they are done with the experience. That's it. They don't sit in fear. They don't use their conscious mind. Whatever is the moment bringing to them. If a deer is there and sees, a threat to their life, they will experience the fear. They will act from that fear and they're done with it. Does it mean that they will stop now grazing in those parts of land where they found some threat yesterday? No, that privilege belongs to human beings who will just simply be sitting over there and fearing and strategizing and trying to protect themselves or whatever. The deer will experience, the deer will move. Again, the next day, they will come back. They simply are. They don't shirk away from experiences. They are able to be in the moment and experience whatever they need to experience. The plant simply is. The plant is teaching us how to be. Can you go be a plant? I actually have a post on that. Can you be a plant today? The plant is not the one who says, I've got to give shade to so many people. No, it's we who give that value to the tree, saying, oh, the tree gives shade to so many people. The tree doesn't think that way. The tree has no intention. And then it just simply is being. If you are using it and finding it useful, that's okay. But there are so many trees in forests who are still growing. Nobody is going over there and taking a shade under them. They're still doing the same thing that they are meant to do. They are being. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. Can you just be? Because that's the only purpose. Through every breath, just in being, your purpose is already being met. Just being, experiencing everything and not attaching any value to anything outside of you. Not attaching value to who you are, what you are, but simply just being. Can you do that? Because that is the purpose. But then that's your aware purpose. You think it's not happening already? Even in unawareness, you are totally meeting your purpose. We just described how. You grow that entire experience for the whole universe. Every animal, every plant, everything, everyone, even by just being, they are already fulfilling their purpose. Their energy is here to experience in whatever life form you take. The energy is here to experience through that life form. Such useless questions we have. Oh my. Okay. Any more useless questions, anybody? The topic is purposelessness. So I'm bound to receive purposeless questions today. Okay. All right. Deep breath in and a breath out. As you breathe in, simply being in the energy of Meenal. And whoever asked me that question about when you're in anger, do we experience anger? Right now, I'm disgusted. Are you experiencing my disgust fully? I hope you are. A deep breath in and release. And as you sit in this frequency of Meenal, observe. Observe everything going blank. Take a deep breath in and exhale. And as you exhale, before the next breath, that silence, that gap, that time gap, be in there. That is the frequency of your purpose. It's your purpose, that space between the breath. That silence is your purpose. That empty gap is your purpose. In awareness, grow that gap. A few breaths in and a few breaths out. Growing the gap between the breaths. Observe your mind being completely empty. If there are any thoughts right now, in this moment, simply with a lot of love, bring them out, send them out. In this moment, you are in your aware purpose. The purpose of being, just being. Allowing yourself to just be. Allow. There's nowhere to go, nothing to do. Simply to be in this moment. All outside impulses, all outside events, simply blanking right now. You can't experience anything but this blankness, this gap between your breath. Be in that gap a little bit more. Expand that gap just a little bit more. This is your true purpose. To be in this state of blankness, empty, completely empty. Your aware purpose is to be empty. As empty as this space. Experience this space. And this is all that you took birth for. You took birth for the breath, every breath. You took birth for the emotion, to experience every emotion. You took birth to experience your own energy. And then you took birth to change your energy. This is that life where you took birth to know that you are Shiva. Your energy brought you to this point to show you you are the creator. You are all there is in the entire universe. You are all. And this allness, this feeling of allness is to be found only in that small little gap in your breath. That little gap in your breath holds the key. Be there in that gap. Just be. As you just be, you serve your aware life purpose. The energy of equanimity, this. The energy of masti, this. This blankness, this shunya. This your life purpose. To experience this shunya. And so, in this moment, you are experiencing your life purpose fully in awareness. The outside purposes will come and go. You are already aware now of your true purpose. This knowing is now a part of you. It can't be taken away from you. It will always come back to you. Om Mani. Okay, everyone. Lots and lots of love to all of you.
Yeah, it was wonderful.
Anji,
It was wonderful.
thank you. Lots and lots of love.